In this city where we live, there is a goal to have a certain amount of affordable housing by the year 2030. Where are we with this goal? For a time, a few years ago, it was my impression that there was little progress and that it would be a situation where there would be a rush to accomplish the goal at the last minute. What does this mean for people who are waiting for housing? I have lived here with my kids for 20 years and we have never had access to affordable housing. We will eventually depart this city and will never have access to affordable housing. I will have handed over probably more than 70% of all my income to one landlord or another. Why? So we could all go to school here. I finished my bachelor's and master's degrees at the University of Michigan throughout this time. My kids attended the public schools, graduating from Skyline High School. We've lived our lives here. What a boon for those able to capture the rents. My rent increased by nearly 20% last August. I tried to persuade them otherwise, but they insisted they needed to recover their pandemic losses. In the last 10 years, my rent has increased by a third. My income certainly has not increased by that much, I assure you. Shortly after this latest rent increase, I became ill with coronavirus and lost 2 weeks of work. Fortunately, I had earned some vacation pay, and it all went to buffer my time out for illness, just enough to eke by on my COVID vacation. I'm still trying to recover financially from that setback. There were no relief programs in place by that time. In fact, they had all expired the month before. This pandemic is not over, yet we pretend that it is. How does this impact housing and human rights? There need to be better safety nets so that people do not lose their housing. As we witness climate extremes, ensuring access to the built environment is a basic tenet of human decency. Having goals on paper is one thing, but hanging by a thread while waiting for access to affordable housing has drastic impact on people's lives. There are real people in this city and region who not only need access to reasonable housing, but reasonable jobs. Housing needs to be where jobs are, whether by bus, car, bike, or a reasonable distance to walk. We need a holistic vision for what a sustainable city should be, and not just by appealing to those who can make evening meetings downtown in the middle of winter. We need affordable housing now. I don't expect I will ever benefit from it here, but there are thousands of others who can, and hopefully will. We stand now at the beginning of the 7-year road to achieving the Sustainable Development Agenda for 2030. I ask you to think carefully about what it will take to build a dignified, sustainable city that is inclusive of all people. What is your part? What role do you have? What are you going to do today? People's lives depend on it.